Hey, I'm Elias. Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to help you today with a little bit of encouragement and inspiration as it pertains to fear. It's an ugly word, man. Talk about the ultimate F word. Fear is the ultimate F word, in my opinion. We have so many things that try to infiltrate our lives when it comes to our creativity and getting over ourselves. You've heard it before: self-sabotage, procrastination. We'll sit there and we will just like visualize in our head ways to keep us from doing anything that we ultimately want to be able to do. But we judge ourselves on our intentions as creatives. We'll sit there and say, oh, I've got the best book ideas, or oh, I totally know what I'm going to do, or it's going to be cool because one day I'm going to. And it's like all of this just kind of hovering around in your head, but it's not actually going to happen. But what keeps us from that? It's fear. Ultimately, the root of it is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of not knowing what's going to happen, fear of success. Hey man, things are going to go so well. I don't even know how I'm going to handle success if I sell that much and make that much. So why even bother? Fear of being rejected by people, fear of this might not work, fear of, this has already been done. People are going to say, and I even actually heard that the moment I was going to publish my book, Fear Hunters, somebody was commenting on social media. It's like, oh, that book already exists. Oh, so what? So am I supposed to stop now? So you can have all kinds of things that are trying to rob your joy and rob your peace in what you're trying to accomplish in life. Well, one of the things that I want to help you with today is this. Overcoming your fear is absolutely necessary if you are going to grow. That means failure is absolutely a part of that. So if one of your biggest things is I'm afraid to fail, and if so I'm not even going to bother, you will literally sit on the sidelines of life. You'll watch everybody else taking the hits, making plays, and scoring. But you're going to be sitting there on the sidelines. For that matter, you could be sitting in the stands. Even worse, you could be sitting at a tailgate party watching it on a TV. So if you literally want to experience life in all of its wholeness, it's going to require failure and growth. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, grow your brand, write that book, write that music, write that album, paint those paintings, launch those initiatives, start that nonprofit, start a new business, rent that new building, have that confrontational conversation with somebody, break that partnership, any of these things that you're looking at doing in life, it's all fear-based. You're not rooted in love. All you see is nothing but these almost like monsters, fear, 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 fear. You're so overwhelmed, you're just like, I just want to go punch a clock, bow out, and not deal with anything. I want to retreat to comfort. What keeps us from overcoming fear? What keeps us from telling ourselves the truth so that the lie can be eliminated and we can walk into ultimately who we're supposed to be? What does that? Here's what it is. It's self-preservation. It's the way that you're wired. So I don't want you to think that there's something wrong with you because you're fearful. I don't want you to think that there's something wrong with me because I have these doubts or these ways of procrastination or self-sabotage, or that's all a part of self-preservation. What's an example of self-preservation and safety is this. We as human beings are wired to keep ourselves from pain, right? Physical pain and emotional pain. So we don't want to lose connection. If we lose connection, we're going to lose love. If we're going to lose connection, we're going to lose control. And ultimately, we're going to lose love. So watch this. Imagine you're going bungee jumping and you've trekked up to the top of a 150, 300-foot bridge, suspension bridge. And you're going to climb out on that ledge with that bungee wrapped around your ankles, and you're going to jump off of that ledge. What's going to happen the moment you're about to jump? It's not like you get up there and you're like, oh yeah, no problem, and you just jump. What's going to happen is you're going to go into self-preservation. Your body is going to hold you back. And that's the reason why a lot of people are scared of heights, is because they don't trust themselves. So think about that for a minute. You're standing on that ledge, you're about to jump into that confrontational message with somebody, or a confrontational phone call, or asking or going bigger at work for a promotion, or doing anything out that's requiring you to overcome. You're trapped in fear. And out of self-preservation, you want to retreat. Your mind tells you to retreat. Your body tells you to retreat, to get comfortable, to stay out of pain. Listen, pain, failure, rejection. Those are gnarly things, but they're not as big as you think. But they are absolutely mandatory for growth. You will not grow as a business person, a leader, as a parent, as a spouse, as an entrepreneur, and you certainly will not grow in your creativity if you aren't willing to fully walk through those paper tigers of fear. Because fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not real. You're buying a lie. Experiments that I did with myself, which is why I wrote this book, Fear Hunters. My book, Fear Hunters, was written to provide the strategies for walking through those paper tigers, dismantling the lies. Now, what's interesting is this book is going to expose how much of your life is ran by fear, which is a majority. You're going to find that probably anywhere between 50 to 80% of your life is ran by fear. Your choices, your initiatives, or your lack of initiatives are based in fear and rooted in fear. So the moment that I was able to replace that fear in love for myself, why am I having this confrontational conversation with somebody? Because I love myself, I care about myself, I care for them, and I want everybody to move on in their calling. So I want to be able to dismantle that as soon as possible. So I'm going to face this. And I realized that it was never as big as I imagined in the first place. I'm going to go after this initiative. I'm going to overcome it. I'm going to write down what's worst case scenario, figure out what my fears are and why. Rooted in love. Now what happens is once you start to dismantle these fears and learn the process of being able to you hunt fears. Now you're like, I want to get them out of my life. I'm a fear hunter. I'm getting this stuff out of my life. Why am I doing that? So that now I have all this capacity open. What am I supposed to do with the rest of my life? Because I'm not being ran by fear anymore. I'm not playing small anymore. I want to go big now. And I'm ready to go big. I'm ready to grow. You can't grow if you are continually playing small. So my encouragement to you, my friend, is take the idea of dismantling the ideas or the lies, dismantle the fear so that you can grow into who you've been called to be. God put you on this earth on assignment, on purpose. You're not going to discover that if a majority of your time is just being completely consumed in managing fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of disappointment, fear of rejection. I'm just going to tell you this. You are going to fail. You are going to fail. You are going to let people down. You are going to break things. Things are going to happen that way. So the question is, how are you going to respond to it? It's either going to run you or you're going to run it. So are you going to just be a human existing or are you going to be a human being? You can't be being in action, moving on in life and making things happen if you're in a constant state of paralyzed. So I want to encourage you with that today. Fear is essential. It's mandatory for growth. Hope you have an amazing day. Leave a comment down below. If you need some resources in my book, check down in the notes down below. I'll make sure you have a link for that if you need some help. And do me a favor, share this with somebody. I hope this brightens your day, encourages you, and gives you some more strategies to live life on purpose. Have an amazing